But yeah, so as far as budgeting, I mean, it all begins with understanding where you are, right? I mean, there's a term, I'm sure you and I, we've talked about it in the past, but it's called cash flow,
Cash flow.
right? You got to know where your cash is flowing, man.
Cash flow.
Right? So I mean, every month you make money, right? But you also spend money. So whether it's a small budget that you're trying to do, a PS4 or some Jordans or whatnot, if you don't know where your cash flow is, if you're spending more money every month than you're making, it's gonna be hard to budget for that PS4. So
Or PS5.
or excuse me.
For all those gamers
it's
out
been
there.
a long time I've
For all
gamed.
those gamers out there.
But yeah, so like it really starts from understanding, where your money is. And so yeah, once you've been able to understand your cash flow and understand, how much money you have at the end of the month, then you can actually start that process of budgeting. And in that process, there's a lot of different principles, right? There's this one rule, right? It's called the 50-30-20 rule. And that basically is a rule that helps you break down your income, right? And you can take, let's say if you make $5,000, right? So you can, basically 50% of that money goes to your main expenses, 30% your non-essentials, right? Your party money, your shoes, whatever.
For all the good stuff.
You're right. And then 20% goes to your savings and investing. So there's rules and principles out there to help you budget, but at the end of the day, it starts with that cash flow. Absolutely. Well, I mean, just like I won't say everybody, but most people, you want things in life, right? Generally you have some aspirations. So for me, I've always had high aspirations in life and wanted to know what it takes, to go from, whatever, I started from humble beginnings, but I always wanted to really live a good life, right? And I wanted to know how to do that. You watch the TVs, my background's in finance, so I was watching a lot of Warren Buffett is a big name, but like other big financial gurus is like, how were they able to get there? So it was just a matter of understanding the lingos, right? So
the lingo's okay.
It's kind of like sports, right? You and I know some little bit about sports. I used
suck
to beat them all the
you
time.
You suck at basketball.
Yeah, right.
You have no shot.
So
no handles.
It's all about IQ, right? So in sports, it's all about IQ. Same with money. It's another game, right? So for me, I wanted to understand what is that IQ, financial IQ. And so the minute I started understanding that, the terminologies, I started applying it in my life. And as a result, I'm in the process of building an application out of those the IQ, the information I was able to learn. Cash flow, the income statements, financial statements is key, right? So when it comes to financial IQ, and so if you want to just high level break it down, what is that IQ? Well, it's all about, in personal finance, it's all about understanding your income statements and your balance sheets, right? And those two statements allows you to understand your cash flow.
Okay, so kind of getting all that laid out kind of helps you understand like your financial presence.
Absolutely. But see, the thing too, though, is it's hard, by the way, guys. It's hard to understand a lot of this stuff. So what WalletGyde does is it helps people get matched up with financial coaches to help them navigate through that. And shout out to Yannick. He's over here. He's doing his thing, but he's one of the top financial coaches in Denver, in the city. So he's a really great friend of mine and actual personal coach. So there's a lot of people like him and other independent financial coaches out there to help people navigate through financial conversations that, let's face it, it's not easy to talk about. So
that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, so honestly, it's just like this experience, right? This is a great experience, isn't it, guys? Like, it's great where, somebody like yourself, Nate, can create a platform to allow creatives to express themselves, right? So that's, WalletGyde, it's all about that financial expression, right? So it's about giving giving people that opportunity to talk about a subject that most people, or even society, we don't like to try to talk about, right? So I think that's the message of WalletGyde. It's all about financial empowerment. It's all about, giving people that opportunity to be okay to talk about money with, resources. So
You hear that, guys? It's okay to talk about money. It's okay to talk about how much you're getting paid. You're not flexing, It's just, It's honestly like financial expression, if you will.
Well, and another thing too is, especially in the finance space, with my background being finance, it's the jargons, right? So you got all these, guys in suits and ties, and you know what I mean, and they start throwing out these words to try to intimidate people. But at the end of the day, once you kind of parse out all those big words, it's just the cash flow, income versus expense, cash flow. So once you understand those basics and have somebody that's like Yannick that's willing to actually sit down with you and walk you through all of that and be like, oh, wait, it's not just these big words anymore. It's actually just my financial story. Because, at the end of the day, we all have some sort of perception and stuff about money, how we grew up, right? So when you have somebody that's that's able to walk you through some sort of subconscious stuff you got about money, it allows you to, get empowered, get freed.
It's all about empowerment, man. It's all about empowerment.
Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely.
So I guess like from my point of view with money, I always try to be positive with money. Whenever I think of money, I always try to think of it positively because some people say money is like the root of evil.
Yeah.
And that just has some negative connotations to it. So I want to like always think positive around money and have a positive psychology around money, and that's what really helps me.
No, there's different routes definitely to make money. Obviously, you want to make it the right way.
She's like, I did.
Yeah, you can marry into money too. That's the thing. But yeah, absolutely, you wanna definitely have goals. And I know we talked about this too. There's all sorts of different rules out there. There's even this methodology. It's called a SMART goal. That helps you. It's an acronym that's down. Basically, it's like specific, achievable, reachable, and it's a whole methodology to help you go from a short-term goal to a medium-term goal to a long-term goal.
So that's kind of like the criteria. Is like the SMART goal.
Yeah.
It's like the criteria to help reach that goal.
Absolutely.
Because we don't want dumb goals. We want smart goals.
You want smart goals, man.
We don't want to buy dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? We want to buy. You want to be smart with our money.
Because, pigs don't know pigs stink.
Yeah, something like that. The rooster croaks at dawn or something. Or you keep squeezing the udders of a cow, you're going to get milk, something like that,
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I would say one of the biggest fears sometimes about money is just the lack of financial awareness of like when you don't know where you are with your money, there's that lingering, fear in the back of your head. Like, oh, I might not want to swipe that card because you know what I'm saying? If it doesn't go. So like once you are financially empowered, once you're able to set those goals and you see like, oh, wow, my checking account, my emergency savings account is pretty solid. My investing is going pretty good. These are all positive goals and things that can help you start becoming financially empowered. And then so you can start walking differently, talking differently about money. And that right there is what helps people become more, confident about their money. So then like when the news broadcasts things about, oh my God, this is happening in the market, or you can look at your financials. You can actually look at, so there's a term, it's called personal economy, right? You can look at your own personal economy and be like, look, that's the world economy or that's the American, but my personal economy is pretty straight. So it's all about your personal economy, man.
It's almost like separating yourself from like everybody else and knowing where you're at.
Exactly.